What's going on, everybody? My name is Asmi Hongos. I'm a photographer and web video producer. In this video, let's talk headphones, and more specifically the Audio-Technica AT M50s and the Bose QC35. Now, both of those headphones are my first pair of professionally level graded headphones. I personally never owned that type of headphone until I got to college, and boy, did that completely change the way I saw and heard music. You can't see music. It's more specifically the way I heard music. You could hear all those crispy notes. You can hear every single, moment that the artist wanted you to hear. And since then, I personally have had a lot of, determining factors when it comes to my music. As I grew up a little bit more, I decided, I wanted a different type of manufacturing quality when it came to my headphones. That could be from the build quality to the sound quality and everything that falls in between when creating a proper pair of headphones. I'm gonna do a comparison. Although I don't have the M50s with me either, I remember them like as if it were yesterday. I personally had to sell them off in order to get the QC35s. And let me start off by saying that if you get either of these headphones, it will not disappoint you. But here are some things that I personally really love about the M50s. Now, to start off with the Audio-Technica M50s, which is the most important thing of any pair of headphones, it's the sound. The sound makes an entire difference. The first major album I remember hearing on that pair of headphones was Logitech's Under Pressure album, and it was revolutionary. Up to that point, I had only heard music through these little pair of Apple headphones. And when I put on that pair of M50s, it was insane. I heard every crispy note, every synthesizer, every verse. It just made a completely different sort of tune in my head. Not only that, but as I looked through my years, I realized that every time I put on that pair of headphones, I could hear new stuff every single time. That's something that really comes along with beautifully engineered and beautifully produced, not only music, but also the hardware. Secondly, the price. The price point is actually very inexpensive. At $150, you will not get a better deal. There's professionally leveled headphones at like $300, $400. However, when I was, first starting off making videos, this was a great pair of headphones at $150. Hell, if you can get it on a Black Friday deal or, a Cyber Monday deal at $130 maybe, they are well worth the price. There's also some of them on eBay, which are around like $80, $90, just depending on that price point. Lastly, I just want to say that when it comes to the good stuff, these things lasted me for years. I never really had a problem with the build quality. The material, although a little bit plasticky, lasted me a really, really long time. Even though I dropped in here and there, they still held up. Now let's talk about the other side of the coin, which was what I personally did not enjoy about the M50s, which weren't that many things, to be honest. First and foremost, the amount of time that it could be with those pair of headphones. Now, I sit on my computer for very long periods of times, and I found that I could never go beyond 3 hours with that pair of headphones. I don't know if it was the weight or the distribution or the way that I was putting them. I tried multiple variations, and I could just never go beyond 3 hours with that pair of headphones. And to some, that might seem like a really long time, and if you're like an average consumer, then I think it will be a great pair of headphones if you want to upgrade from any pair of flimsy little Apple headphones or any headphones that are not professionally leveled. But that was for me. I didn't enjoy that. I could not sit there for longer periods of time, and it just became eventually an issue. And the more you wear something, the more you get used to it, and the more you can notice it on yourself. And that was just me. I know it seems a little nitpicky, but that's my professional opinion on these headphones. Lastly, I don't like wires. So I personally, that's one of the major reasons I decided to give this pair of headphones. And it's really not a big deal. It's just a personal preference. I've personally set up my desk in order to be wire free. I want as minimal as wires as possible. Of course, I only do this when I'm editing photo, and whenever I need to go into video, I will personally use, an audio cable because that's still relevant to video editors. You see, these aren't really that big of a deal, but here's the equalizer of both of these pair of headphones. The equalizer is that they both sound great. They're amazing. The quality will not disappoint you. But let's talk about why I chose to move on to the QC35s. Now, take into note that these are the version 1, which means that my pair of headphones do not have Google Assistant automatically paired up. And to be honest, it didn't seem like a big deal to me. I thought I was going to be missing the idea of the Google Assistant, but I have an iPhone. I don't need the Google Assistant, and we all know Siri isn't that great. Apple, please fix that. And it's just that, like, I personally bought mine used, and they were really inexpensive. They were the Mark 1, and that's because they were a little scuffed up, and I didn't really mind that. So why did I decide to go from the M50s to the QC35s, even though there weren't that many issues? And that's because I feel like I'm getting a little bit more mature with my media. I want the noise cancellation. I want to, you know, be able to focus. And I believe that that's what these pair of headphones allowed me to do. First and foremost, the beautiful sound quality. We don't even have to really talk about that. They're professionally leveled headphones. Second of all, and really important to me, was the idea of wireless. I do not enjoy having a huge mess of wires on my desk, and that was really, really important to me. And the connection on these pair of headphones is insane. They pair within seconds. I've personally never had to go and troubleshoot any of them because they automatically connect with my iPhone and my MacBook within seconds. The Bluetooth is really, really good, and I have never really had a problem with them. Moving on to the next thing, which is what's in the name, comfort. I personally have used these for months, and I can tell you, I can go with this pair of headphones all day. I could travel, I could be on a bus, I could be not driving. Why would I be driving? I could go anywhere, and they would last for hours. I personally believe that Bose construction when it came to this pair of headphones was far superior compared to the QC35s. Of course, that's also derived from the level of the price point. And personally, like I said, I did not buy this pair new. I bought them used, and maybe that's why they felt a little bit better, because they were a little bit worn in. But that's up to you and your discrepancy whether you believe in burning in headphones, which to me, I don't personally know. I haven't used too many professionally leveled headphones. And of course, I love that I can charge this via my battery pack, and the battery life on this pair of headphones is drastic. It's insane. It's something I wish that iPhones could do. I charge them possibly once every 1.5 weeks, which is really great. I kind of forget about it, but the lifespan on these pair of headphones is insane, even though they were used. And this is the first model, which only has I believe about like 8 to 10 hours of battery life, but I have no complaints about that. I love being able to charge really any item with my battery pack whenever I'm on the go, and this does not let you down. And of course, most importantly, and the reason that I switched to the QC35s was the noise cancellation. Now, as you get older and you do more reading and like you're in college, I believe that these are an essential to moving to college. Now, you might say, oh, they're really expensive or this or that, but personally, when I pair this with any pink noise and I put this on the noise cancellation, it just like, and the world goes. Like, it's really an amazing pair of headphones that will not let you down. And I was really skeptical, but I feel like my level of productivity has gone up when it came to this. And this was during like the last 2 quarters of my schooling, and that's the reason why I'm still producing with that on my, I'm using it for Adobe and Premiere, and they don't let you down. The sound quality, like I said, for this pair of headphones, either of which you choose, will not let you down. But that's my main reason why I switch. It might seem kind of ridiculous. It might seem like you're being nitpicky, but I want the machine and the tools that I use to be as responsive as I am. Of course, let me know what you think. If you have the QC35s, if you have updated, if you own both because you're like rich for some odd reason. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. My name is Isaac Mihangos, and I'll catch you in the next one.